Hello everyone, so today's video is going to be my 5 to 7 week update. So I have been tracking all my symptoms, everything in my phone for each week. I've just got kind of behind of filming these. I filmed my symptoms before my BFP and then also my 4-week symptoms a little bit ago. So I will have those linked down below if you guys want to check those out. But I wanted to update you guys on what has happened between 5, 6, and 7 weeks because it was a lot. It was a ton. But anyways, before we get in the video, if you guys are brand new to my channel, hello, welcome. My name is Madison. I have a 1-year-old named Riley. She's actually 22 months, almost turning 2, which is crazy. And then I'm expecting my second right now. So if you want to stick around, feel free to hit the subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and let's get into it. All right, so just jumping right in, for 5 weeks, I had a headache, started Monday, July 13th. I've had a few headaches. Only a couple have been pretty bad. I don't take any Tylenol for them. I just kind of try to power through it. What I do is I actually take an ice pack, I'll set it on my head, and I try to just go to sleep in like a dark room, and that seems to be the best thing, but I try to avoid taking anything. I don't want to take anything when I'm pregnant. So I've dealt with that, and then also frequent peeing, which is I have to pee so much. Like that has not left me. I have not slept throughout the night since like a week before finding out my missed period because of my insomnia. But my peeing is just on another level. I think I pee a lot because I also drink a ton of water. Like I live, like this thing goes with me everywhere. I love this thing. It keeps your water cold for so long. I'll link it down below. I got it at Target. But I drink so much water and I have to like literally get up in the middle of the night to go pee every single night. So there's that. And then 5 weeks also, my boobs got so sore. They always get super sore. Like in pregnancy, they get super sore even just before my period. So those, like, they were so tender. I remember like they're not as bad anymore. Right now I'm actually 11 weeks today that I'm filming this, but back then I would like not sleep with a bra on because, you know, it's so much more comfortable to not have a bra on. So I would get up to go to the restroom and I would like have to hold myself up because it hurt so bad to just walk. Like that's how sore they were. I was like, oh my God. Also around this time I was taking a nap. I'm still kind of taking naps every afternoon just before I pick up Riley. I try to get all my work done, try to take a quick little nap before I pick her up to kind of recharge me for the day. My fatigue was really high at this point. It's starting to wear off now, but I had to have that nap in the afternoon. Otherwise I was a zombie. Like I could not function. So the nap was everything. My symptoms got a lot stronger at night at 5 weeks. Like if I was nauseous, it was coming and hitting me at the nighttime. Like nothing would really hit me in the morning. It would hit me really hard at nighttime when I would lay down for bed. I noticed that. That's where my nausea actually kind of started hitting. It was like a little bit at night because I have a tiny bit of nausea some nights. So I get that, and then hungry at night. Like I would get so hungry at night. I would want to eat a snack or something. Like I would have saltine crackers next to my bed. I wasn't like that with Riley. I never ate at night with her. Like I never was hungry at night. So that's been a new one for me. And then the 5 weeks is actually the time that I had a dream that it was a girl. So I had a dream. It was I had very vivid dreams. That's another thing that I guess I forgot to put on here, but very vivid dreams throughout this whole pregnancy. And I was looking down at my belly. My belly was big. And I was talking to someone and I said, she. Like I started calling my belly a she. And I woke up the next morning and I told Joel, I had a dream that it was a girl. And he was just like, oh, because like we've just heard from our doctor and just like little wives' tales and stuff like that. And they kind of just say like, one of the biggest like telltale signs of what you're having is from your dreams, even though it's not 100% effective, but, or like 100% always correct. But I don't know. With Riley, I never had a dream with her. I just knew she was a girl. Like I just had that gut feeling. Like, I don't know if it's just like, I'm very in tune with my body. And I just had that feeling. I was like, it's a girl. I know it's a girl. And then this one, I had an even earlier feeling than I did with Riley. Like I just knew it was a girl in the beginning. Like 5 weeks on, like I was like, it's a girl. I just know it is. That's what happened at 5 weeks. So at this time, I still have yet to go to the doctors. My doctor's appointment wasn't until I was 8 weeks. They wait till that long. So I hate that waiting time. That waiting time is hell, you guys. It's horrible. But going into my 6-week symptoms right now, this week actually, I think it was like on the Friday, like right when I turned 6 weeks, my sister guessed that I was pregnant. So I was at her house, and I was like going to try to avoid going to her house or seeing her at all until I finally was able to tell. But I was like, this is not going to be for like a really long time. So I was like, you know what? I want to go see Caspi. I want them to play. So we went over there, and I left there, and my mom calls me. She's like, your sister just called me right when you left. She's asking me if you're pregnant. So my mom knew at this time. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? She goes, yeah. She goes, Madison's face is getting fuller. And she told me that they're like trying to take it easy right now, and try for 4 more months before they see another doctor. And she goes, that doesn't sound like Madison right now. Like she's like completely did a 180 with everything. And so she guessed I was pregnant. So I was like, I called up my sister and I was like, you think I'm fat? Because she said my face was fuller. And she's like, well, it looks like, you know, like how you were when you were pregnant. Like I just kind of like swell up. And so and then she's like, she goes, and then also like how you weren't taking it so seriously when I asked you about when your period was and stuff like that. And I go, I told you when it was. And I go, no, I go, we're just trying to relax. I go, I'm not pregnant. So I was like very adamant because I was like, I want to at least surprise someone because my mom already knew. So yeah, so I stuck with my guns on that one and just kept saying, I'm not pregnant. So that was funny. And then I also started getting that metal taste in my mouth, you know, that you get when you're pregnant. It really wasn't annoying or anything like that. I just kind of noticed it slightly here and there. So I started getting that. And this is where I also started craving salt. Like, I haven't really talked about this craving yet, but I was just craving anything salty, which is why I loved the tahini. So I was having, because I love fruit and I'm craving fruit, but every single night, like I just didn't want to have a bowl of ice cream. Like I don't want the ice cream. I don't want the extra calories. I want just something, at least if I'm going to eat something, I want it to be somewhat healthy. So I would make myself a bowl of like mangoes, cantaloupe, watermelon, just like different things. And I would squeeze lime on top of it. And then I would put a little bit of tahini on it. And that was everything. Like that was my little nighttime treat that would get me through to the morning time. But it was like that salt that I was craving. Another thing that started happening was constipation. Like I was having a problem going, I've never had problems going number 2 ever, TMI, but you're at a pregnancy symptoms video. But I've never had a problem going number 2. So that's when my constipation kind of started, which was kind of weird. So I don't know why that was, but got that. My nausea really started hitting at night at 6 weeks. So I have it on here, and my nausea would hit for like, it could hit from anywhere from 5 minutes to like a couple hours till I like actually went to sleep. And that was horrible. So the nausea hit me there. I still was getting like a little bit of headaches, but nothing like crazy. I know I had one bad headache, but nothing like insanely crazy. Again, no Tylenol. This is also when I got the pit bull attack. So basically on the Monday, so I turned 6 weeks on Friday. On that Monday, we took our dogs for a walk, and we walked right past, like we turned down the street. A woman was emptying her car. Well, she had her pit bull right there. And I have 2 little dogs. I have Ollie Man, who's 5 pounds, and Elsa, who's 10 pounds. And they're Malteses. And so whenever we see a big dog, we spurt, like we like leave, like we automatically leave. But we didn't see this one because it was inside a garage and the garage door was open. And then there's also another like little kitty gate that's in front of her garage door, which I think is usually what she has closed. But she was on the phone, and we turned, we're like, oh, big dog. So Joel took off, I'm pushing Riley, and I see that this dog saw them and started darting for them, while Joel's already kind of like, you know, trying to nonchalantly like go. And my dogs didn't even see this dog, so they didn't bark or anything. So the dog ran out. I'm yelling, Joel, Joel. I go, this dog, I go, it's not on a leash, it's not on a leash, it's coming. And so I move up ahead. I put Riley like over to the side, and she's in the stroller, so she's safe, but she's completely out of harm's way. So I move up to the front, and I see this dog coming. And literally, I just like kind of had that moment of, what was that one movie where she like, it's like the horse diving movie? Comment down below if you guys remember this title. But when it's like the horse runs, is like running up this thing, and then she has to like grab on and hop on, and then they dive, and then she ends up going blind because she gets too much water in her eye, and then she's having to sense vibrations. And yeah, so I literally felt like I was in that movie trying to like grab this dog as it's trying to run past me. So I lunge and try to stop this dog, and that's where I got that big scrape on my leg, because I think it just kind of like pulled me a little bit with it, because that dog was a big dog. I could not hold back that dog, which wasn't the smartest idea, but I was just like immediately like trying to save my dogs. So Joel was able to pick up Elsa in time, but he wasn't able to get Ollie Man. Like, it's just too hard to handle 2 dogs, and your hands are like, you know, with 2 leashes. So with Ollie Man, he just swung him, which basically saved his life. Ollie Man's fur was wet, so the dog did lunge at him, and we thought it got him, but it just got its hair. Like, that's how close it was. I'm on the ground screaming. It was traumatizing. I was so scared afterwards, because I was like, frick. I dove, I went for this dog. I was worried that this traumatic experience that I went through was gonna harm the baby after, like, you know, I'm so sensitive right now, especially because of the miscarriage that we already had, and I'm like, I don't wanna lose this baby. And I'm so scared of anything that I do is gonna harm it. So that really freaked me out. I was really shooken up from it. I had a slight form of PTSD because I looked up the symptoms, and I got a lot better from it. It took me about a week to get out of it. I couldn't sleep. Like, I already couldn't sleep because of my insomnia, but I could not sleep because every single time I would close my eyes, I would reenact everything in my head. Like, everything would happen over again. And then I would also create different scenarios of what I could have done differently to stop this dog. So, like, that legit traumatized me, because you guys know, like, my dogs are my children. They are my babies, and I will go to bat for them. So that really just, like, that did a lot. So I was really freaked out about that, and that was on the Monday. So going from that, another symptoms, so that was that situation, and then I'm gonna go back to it here for my week 7 in a little bit, but just kind of finish out my other, like, symptoms that I had of week 6 was, again, still peeing frequently, thirsty all the time, drinking tons of water, insomnia still, sore boobs still, and bloated. I was starting to get bloated, like really bloated in my midsection, to where I was trying to put on my like high-waisted shorts because it's been so hot, and I'm like, oh my God, like I could buckle them up, but I was like, I can't even sit. Like, I'm so just like, I feel so big in my stomach area. Yeah, so that's how I went through 6 weeks. The bloatedness started. So with 7 weeks, this is where I'm gonna kind of go back to, like, with everything. So 7 weeks, I turned 7 weeks on the Friday. Well, that's Sunday, and mind you that the pit bull attack was Monday. So that Sunday, I woke up, 7 weeks, blood, like in my underwear, like enough to fill a panty liner, just like the red blood. Freaked out. If you've had a miscarriage before, that's how it starts. Freaks you out. It was something that I just wasn't expecting, because to me, I got past my 5-6 week window, and I was so scared. I texted Joel in the morning. I was like, I think I'm miscarrying again. I woke up to blood again. He called me, and he was like really concerned, and he goes, call the doctors. I'm like, I'm not gonna call the doctors because I can't see them today. I go, I just have to wait this out and see them tomorrow. I go, it's gonna be pointless. He was just like, well, just do whatever you can do. And I'm just like, well, I go, there's nothing you can do if you're miscarrying. I go, there's no way to stop it. It's just going to happen. So I was really down about that. I was supposed to go swimming that day with Riley at my parents' house, and I had to text my mom, and I was like, I think I'm miscarrying again. I woke up to blood. So I said, I'm not gonna come over. And so my mom ended up telling my dad, because my dad needed to know why I was gonna come over and why my mom was gonna come over and help me with Riley. So she told my dad, and so they knew everything. So they actually came over, they had dinner with us, helped me with Riley. And throughout the day, so I only had that one bleeding spell, like that Sunday morning, right when I woke up. And then throughout the day, it was like brown discharge, while like just throughout the day. And I was like, well, why is it stopping? Usually like it kind of like ramps up after so many hours. That's what it did with my last one. Like I wiped and I didn't even have blood on my underwear. It was when I wiped, I had red when I had my miscarriage, and then it ramped up by the morning time and it was just like full blown. So I was like, it's not doing that. It's just brown, which means it's old blood. So yeah, so anyways, so we did that. So I was kind of like concerned with that. So I called the next morning to my doctor, like the second they opened at 8 o'clock, called them, said, I think I'm having a miscarriage again. I'm 7 weeks and I had blood. And then they were saying, I'm like, well, the blood stopped. And they're like, oh, well, if the blood stopped, it's okay. Like, you know, they're spotting, but I'm like, this was a lot more. I go, no, it was red. And I go, I've already had a miscarriage once. I go, I need to go in. I need an ultrasound done. I go, I need something done to tell me that what the hell is going on. And I told him, I was like, I cannot wait 2 more weeks to have an ultrasound done. I go, I will mentally, emotionally cannot handle that long of a wait right now. So I told him, I go, if you don't bring me in for an ultrasound, I'm going to the ER and I'm getting an ultrasound. I go, I have to do something today. So she was like, no, we don't want you to go to the ER because of COVID and everything. We'll get you an appointment. We're going to have to put down as a threatened miscarriage on your documents. And I was like, that's fine. I don't care. Just get me in because we don't know what's going on. So anyways, so we get in and we do the whole ultrasound and everything looked great. We had the yolk sac, we had the fetal pole, we had a heartbeat. Like, I have studied so many ultrasounds, you guys, it's insane. Like going with Riley and then through this, I was like, I've studied so many ultrasounds, like through the stages. So the second that we did the internal ultrasound, I instantly knew like everything. I was like, okay, we have that. I go, oh, we have a heartbeat. And she's like, wow. I go, I read a lot. She's like, you do. And then I was like, what's the heart rate? I go, is the heart rate at least in the 120s? And then she's like, okay, it's like 130. I was like, okay, that's good. It's a good, strong heartbeat. She goes, okay, you really do know what all your stuff, because I was spewing out numbers and everything. And so I was just like, yeah, I just read a lot. That's just my thing. That's how I put my mind. It's like crazy how you put your mind at ease with reading a ton of information that could probably make your mind go to like more things. But I just need to know as much as I can know. Like, I want to know everything that is going on. So I'm very just like in depth, I need to know the specifics. So yeah, so everything looked great there. And then they did see that you'll see like a coloredness that will happen on the ultrasound, and it shows that there's a polyp. So as you guys know from my HSG test, I had a polyp that was near my cervix that I was told about. And they said like, oh, it's nothing that's worth removing or anything like that, not to touch it and all this stuff. So I was like, okay. So, well, when you are in pregnancy, your vascular system down there is a lot more sensitive. So it can easily bleed. And if you have a polyp, which is basically just extra growth tissue, that can bleed too, because that can cause spotting between periods, that can cause heavier periods. And I actually went in to my OBGYN in November because I thought I had a polyp and I wanted it removed, but they wouldn't check me. They said, we do not want to check you. You're not in like serious pain or anything. It made me so mad because I wish I would have had it removed then, because I wouldn't be going through everything that I'm going through right now. So very pissed about that. But I went there just because like, this is like my biggest thing with people. If ever anyone's dealing with anything medical or anything, you know your body the best. A lot of doctors just go off of statistics, and the thing is if you feel like something's off, and if you feel like really strongly about something, you have to fight for it. You have to fight for it. And just know that you're just not another number. You're just like, I'm someone different. I have this feeling, look into it. And that's what I've been really like noticing and learning as the time has gone on since going through pregnancies. Like, I had to do the same thing with Riley when I was in labor with her. They didn't think I was going to give birth as soon, so they didn't want to give me the epidural. Gave birth way sooner than what they thought I was going to, like I told them to, like I was. And yeah, I just learned that you have to be your biggest advocate when it comes to that stuff. So they saw the polyp and they're like, okay, that's probably the reason why you're bleeding right now. So, which is great because we have a reason. We did not have reason. Like, we did look for a subchorionic hemorrhage. I hope I said that right. but did not have that. That's what I thought maybe I had, and I thought that maybe it happened from the dog attack, because I thought me lunging and hitting the ground really hard is what did it, but nothing like that. So that really put my mind at ease. So yeah, so it's definitely the polyp, and so that happened at 7 weeks. I did have bleeding again, but I'll talk about that in the future videos. It basically came from a cervical polyp, and that is what I'm going to be dealing with the rest of my pregnancy, so I will get more into about that in a later video of everything. But in this week, for 7 weeks, I had extreme nausea on July 24th during the day at 10 a.m. and then I had a headache. So that day was a hard day for me. And then been extremely tired. The fetal heart rate, like I told you guys, was 130. That was another thing, because like a wives' tale is that if the heart rate is higher, they usually say it's a girl, and the heart rate's lower, it's usually a boy. And at that time, the averages is like usually in the 120. So I was like, if it's in the 130, it's a little high. So that it's not always accurate, you guys, at all. It's just kind of like what I kind of do to like kind of say, oh, then this is really kind of justifying like why I feel like it's a girl. Like maybe that's another sign there. So when I heard that, I was like, that also kind of reassured me. I was like, I think it's a girl. Like, even though it's not always 100% correct, but it just was me. So with that, and yeah, so that was my 7 weeks. My 7 weeks was rough just because of that miscarriage scare. Like that scared me so much. I was just, it's the worst. And I still am scared to this day every single time I go to the bathroom. Like I'm still so scared. I probably, like I told Joel, I go, I'm not gonna be at ease until that 20-week anatomy scan and I see everything is still healthy. And then I go, I'm not gonna be at ease until fully at ease until that baby's in my arms. Like that's just what it is. And you just become so much more grateful for one, being able to conceive naturally. You get more grateful for having a healthy baby already. Like so grateful for that. So grateful. But anyways, that is everything that happened between 5 to 7 weeks. I'm actually going to film my 8 to 10 weeks right now too, so that will be coming very shortly, you guys, because there's a lot that also happened between 8 to 10 weeks, like with my appointment and everything like that. So yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little update with everything between 5 to 7 weeks. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little update, and I will see you all in my next video.